right, hello my friends, hello, good evening. I think the music's too loud. Let's see. How's it going, everybody? Hello. Let's see who is here. Hubert, hello. Crispy Senpai, hello. I think we need to listen to Hatsune Miku to make this better. That's fair. Sim for Miku. If you can wreck Miku things, I can play it. Only thing is, I'm not nearly as familiar. But maybe I can look up a playlist actually. But, I mean, it's fine for now. Hello from Australia, hello. Fede Feo, hello. Objective Lazarus, hello. Oh, forgot the dishwasher's running in the back. All right, so tonight, I was supposed to start this stream last night, but the delivery got delayed. So it's funny. Mike from NovelKeys had let me know that they're sending me the Hatsune Miku collection stuff like almost over a week ago, and then they shipped it then, and then it was supposed to arrive maybe like what, Saturday, but it didn't. I checked until yesterday, Monday, and it still didn't, and now Tuesday, and it finally arrived. So I guess since we have to show everything, we can kind of start from maybe the Deskmats. So I'll just unplug this and sort of show you what that looks like. So we got the two Deskmats. So first there is the microfiber version. And then here I think is the rough version. So just to sort of compare. What was for dinner? We had tendon and phalanx soup with rice noodles and greens like minari and some bok choy in there, and we also had some stinky tofu on the side. That was pretty good. All right, so let's check out the so this is exclusive art that was made for this particular collection by the artist. His name is Misc, and they work with Crypton Future Media, and piapro, who own the rights to Miku, and so we have the microfiber version, which is basically the smooth version of the Deskpat here. And then we have the other one. It's down here because it's kind of difficult to work with these. So this is the soft version of the Deskpad. So it sort of looks like that. Hatsune Miku, and then it has the Miku art. Very cool. Sort of has the blue-green colors going on with magenta. Very cool. Cool outfit as well. Kind of like a mix of like street and tech wear. And then there is also the rough version of the mat. So if you want to sort of compare the texture, you can sort of see the rough kind of adds a bit of like texture to it, and then the soft version sort of has you know, it's very like kind of like has like a nice sheen to it, so it's a lot softer. So yeah, so you know, it's kind of a personal preference thing, which one you might like better, between the rough version of the matte. So the rough version, it will kind of, you know, especially in the camera, it kind of almost looks like pixelated, but essentially, you know, a lot more textured. And so a lot of people, there's definitely been a trend in the community for these rougher dust pads. And so I think Mike showed it. Give me a sec. Mike showed the microfiber one last this week rather, when he launched. And so I'll put the rough one on top here, and so I'll leave the rough pad here. So we'll leave this one, and then, oh my goodness, do you just want to walk through? Oh my god. Just go. Sorry, my partner just wanted to walk by, and I was like, stop crawling on the floor and just go. Okay. Kiwi? No. No, that was just my better half. Okay, so that's the Miku dust pad, right? Quite nice. And then over here, let me get the other stuff. Over here, and put these guys away. So we have the child kit here, and then we have the this is the if module base kit. 0-1, sort of to show Hatsune Miku's position here. And so art by Misc, Crypton Future Media Inc., piapro.net. Obviously this has been open, I think, probably by the folks over at NovelKeys, since it's a prototype set, essentially. No, so this is a prototype set, and so the pre-order essentially sets the MOQ for the run, and you know, once the pre-order period is over, you know, the order gets submitted and made on demand, right? Well, not on demand, sorry, made to that specific order. So yeah, so the reason there is essentially a prototype of this set is because it is a licensed set. And so essentially, you know, they have to go through, you know, color matching and all of these things. And so I did speak with Xerpocalypse, who is the designer of the set. He also did GMK Darling, right? You might know. But all of the colors of the Hatsune Miku kits are custom colors. So you know, they had to go through the whole custom color matching and all that. Obviously, depending on sort of like the, you know, I guess terms of the contract and all these things, they had to, you know, also kind of like, you know, adjust things based on what kind of MOQ they're going for and all that. And so so here is the NK Classic. So it comes in this box with the Miku art, and so here, you know, it has sort of like the more typical Classic-TKL sort of like packaging, text and whatnot, but you know, on the forefront it does display the Miku sort of silhouette right there, and you know, it has the colors displaying the logos, and then on the other side it says Hatsune Miku, and then finally, of course, at the bottom is sort of the logos of everyone involved. There's Nephlock, Xerpocalypse, NovelKeys, and piapro. And so, you know, this has been a thing coming for quite some time. I believe Mike on his stream was mentioning that they had started this whole like licensing process almost like 2 years ago. I've spoken with Xerpocalypse, and Xerp basically said that he has been, you know, working on this set for essentially like 5 years or 4 or 5 years, you know, a very long time, and it's sort of like finally you know, come to the market, and so it's a very exciting thing. So I'm pretty excited for him, and I'm also excited that this is like an officially licensed and you know, fully like, you know, kind of like fully realized product. And so it's really cool, you know, to see also like kind of like exclusive art for the Deskmat, and then of course, you know, all of the things that going on for the set as well as for the keyboard. That is a pretty big IP to land, TB. Yeah. No, it's awesome. I mean, earlier this year, I believe, they also did the Final Fantasy one, right? What else have they done? Like NK has done like Rainbow Six, Star Wars, right? They've had a lot of like very cool collaborations over the years, and so this is pretty exciting too. Of course, you know, Mike, you know, self-admittedly was like, I don't really understand the specific market and all the specifics about the sort of like you know, vocal synthesizer and sort of like music production market, as well as sort of like the people who will be coming in as like, you know, Crypton like software like fans, or like Miku fans specifically, right? And so, you know, Miku kind of extends so far, right? Like not only is she like, you know, like a virtual singer, like a whole persona, and also of course, like, it's, you know, Miku is used as, you know, part of this music production software and like, you know, this music production engine really, and so, you know, the fandom kind of extends from there to being personalized in all sorts of things, like from merch all the way to like concerts and like live events and all these things, right? So, you know, the market of Miku is like, so to speak, huge, and it's a very exciting collab, I think. And very cool that Xerp and the NovelKeys were able to actually get it to fruition with Crypton and piapro. And so, you know, it's a very cool thing to see things are like officially licensed and it's all legit, and, you know, it has all the logos, it has all the like iconography and all the art and all the custom art and so on. And oh, welcome Alex's viewers. Hello. I am showing the Hatsune Miku edition Classic-TKL. I just started, actually. It's only been like 10 minutes or so. I was showing the Deskmat. So this is the rough version of the Deskmat. Maybe I can move this a little bit, and on this view you can sort of see it a little bit better. And then, you know, I was about to show the sets and the keyboard itself. So Alex's stream tomorrow, not needed. I'm sure that Alex's stream will also be pretty fun. I think Alex also obviously got, you know, a little bit of everything, so it's exciting stuff. Alex said he can't show the board, but somebody else can. Oh, I see. But yeah, no, it's a very exciting time, I think, both for the hobby as well as for, you know, the people working with other companies and other collaborators who are like willing to do this in the keyboard space. So I personally think it's really great that this has come to the market, and like, you know, we're actually seeing this fully realized product right now. So, you know, you open the packaging, and so you find a fully built keyboard. So this is the Hatsune Miku edition of the Classic-TKL. This one actually comes completely pre-built and with keycaps like this. And so this one is, you know, it's pre-packaged, and so this one they are built with TypePlus stabilizers, a polycarbonate plate, and the NK TypePlus Classic Blue switches. And so it already has the regular base kit, sort of like the standard base kit already installed. And so you can see, you know, just like all the parts of the Classic, it's step caps lock, 7U, and ANSI for the layout. But then, you know, if you do look at the kitting for the Hatsune Miku edition set, you will also see that it also has JIS, Japanese International, like layout support, as well as input system support, and all kinds of other compatibility keys, right? So really cool. The colors are very subtle. So if you were looking at the renders, you will definitely notice that between the gray and the magenta, it's it seems like a fairly low contrast sort of like combination, but I think in person actually the contrast looks really good. It's quite visible. There are a few keys that are very apparent that they have been printed, such as this Hatsune Miku logo over here and whatnot, but we also have quite a lot of double shot stuff. So really cool stuff. And this is all pre-built. We also have a custom back for the Classic-TKL here with the Miku silhouette as well, and it comes in that beautiful blue-green color. And so kind of has this like smoke gray case and the blue-green silicone bottom that's quite nicely textured, different from all of the rest of the Classic-TKLs that we've seen. Sort of like has that like sort of synth wave sort of pattern going on, which is really cool. And then so put that aside, and here we have additional keycaps. It looks so gorgeous. Can't wait to pay American taxes and then European customs. Wait, you have to pay American taxes? Oh, is it because you're shipping it to a US address? Is that why you're paying American taxes and then customs because you're shipping it to yourself from a proxy or something like that? I believe, I thought VAT, value added tax was pre-calculated on checkout if you ordered it directly to, let's say, to the EU. And I believe for orders over 199 or 195, I forget what the exact number is, they also offer free international shipping. I mean, the American tariffs already. Oh yeah. So I mean, yeah, oh, okay. I see now. I see what you mean. Okay. Oh, you mean our winning numbers, huh? The numbers that make us feel like we're winning every day. Surely. Yes. Right. Okay. So in the additional keycaps section, we have a little plastic tray that has, well, additional keycaps. So as you can see, we have our scooped FJ. We have a variety of novelties. If you want to look at them up close, we have a magenta on gray mic, the 01, the little tie, and we also have the blue-green color on the darker base color. For the enter key accents there, we have obviously alternative keys here for the modifiers, accents and whatnot. We also have, all these other novelties, and we also have, these extra keys that I assume are compatible for like, JIS layout. So pretty nice. Quite comprehensive here. I believe the extra keys on here actually don't have the 625U, so actually this won't have the 625U or the 4.5U spacebar that JIS actually has, but the additional keycaps in this box, contain what is necessary for the Classic-TKL, as best as possible, and additional keys. So what does a full build keycaps not have compared to buying the kit separately? So so what I just said, right, is that if you purchase the Classic-TKL, right, the kit with the keycaps here, it'll come in like pre-installed like this, right? Or, it'll come with a set like this, and it'll have additional keys. But if you look at the kitting for the set, I'll actually go through I'll go in my browser and kind of like walk you through that. But if you go to the actual sets, you'll see, and I'll show you the if module in a bit, that it actually has JIS support on the base kit, as well as pretty much all the external like compatibility for pretty much all sorts of layouts. And so like, you can use it on any keyboard that you have. If you purchase the kit itself, like just the keycaps kits, right, the keycap sets, then you will have compatibility for everything. Whereas for the Classic, you're getting what's necessary for the Classic and some more. Is that real forest red? Wait, real forest red? No, this is like a magenta. It's like a magenta. And then on the accessory side, we have a nice magenta cable. So this is a magenta and gray end cable. So this is like this nice rubberized straight cable with USB-C on one side and USB-A on the other. Pretty nice. And then here we have extra hardware as well as extra gaskets. And so, you know, we have a Torx key here, you know, 90-degree key. And then we also have an array of gaskets, both in the blue, green, and the magenta colors, as well as standoffs for hot swap builds. And so this is, you know, this comes with a hot swap PCB. And so, you know, you can optionally put, you know, extra hardware. Or you can have extra hardware here just in case you lose anything during the build process or unbuilding process. And so there is extra hardware included. And so, you know, you'll notice that the gaskets here are differently colored, but they actually are, I believe, the same hardness. So it's pretty much depending on your mood. If you want to switch the gaskets to the different colored ones, and you're just feeling that because you can sort of see through them, like see through the case a little bit, and you're not feeling the blue green and instead want the magenta, then that's the option that you get. So yeah, so the kit here kind of includes everything, right? So we have keycaps, we have a cable, we have extra hardware, we have extra gaskets depending on what you're feeling. We have additional keycaps for, you know, whether you want to switch it up a little bit in terms of like your modifier colors and things like that. And then, you know, a fully built keyboard. So, and yeah, it is a quite nice cable actually. So, oops, sorry about that. Hit the mic. So, you know, that's the board. I'm actually gonna unplug this and just plug in the new board here, right? And so I'm actually gonna try this new cable, right? So connects on the right side here. Oops, little kitty. Then I'll put these gaskets on the shelf here so that they don't get in the way. And then I should have a free port over here. So there it is, right? So obviously when you plug it in, the lights come up. I actually don't remember what the exact keybinds are for lighting, but it is VIA compatible right out of the box. So, you know, if you go on VIA, you'll basically see this. So it's fully programmable and whatnot. And so, you know, you can you can program whatever you want. So it looks like RGB toggle is just FN, which is the right win position, and then Z here. So I'll turn it off for now, but you know, something to note. Okay. Obviously I'll try out the board. I went a little bit, you know, kind of did the extra mile work here. And so at first, you know, so when, so this is funny, but when Mike kind of approached me about the board, I didn't know that it was going to be pre-built. Okay. Like I knew that it was going to be, you know, a keyboard that came with, I thought it was going to be like a kit, right? And then it was come with, you know, it had the keycap options and desk pad options and all of these things. I didn't realize it was going to be pre-built with, you know, TypePlus stabs and the NK Classic Blue switches. And so before the board arrived, I actually went ahead and looked for some switches that would fit the build. And so I got these Everglide Tourmaline Blue V2.5 or something like that switches. And so, you know, these are these nice sort of like polycarbonate, I think, or I forget, I think it's nylon. I don't remember what I think it was polycarbonate for the material of the housing. But, you know, these nice colored switches. Obviously, they're not quite the perfect match here, but, you know, I prepped it and I was like, okay, well, now that it's pre-built, I guess we can try this with the classic blue switches, and then we can also try putting these on because it is hot swap after all. So, yeah. So that's the cool part. Oh, Zerp, hello, you made it. I'm kind of mad how much I don't entirely hate this. Why would you hate it? Why would you hate it? I think it's super cool. I think it's cool that there's like a licensed product, and it's, you know, the color matching has been all done, and you know, the pre-order is for something that you know exactly what you're gonna get, and honestly, I think it's a pretty good deal. The kits offer like crazy amount of compatibility, which is super sick. So yeah. Okay, so this is some child kitting over here. Looks like here I have a extra alphas kit, and then this is the Spacebars kit. I believe they have specific names on the website, right? But you know, maybe Zerb can remind me of the exact name of the kits because I keep forgetting. I see here. Okay. Pick your kit. Miku base is the one that's included on the board. If module is the one that I'm about to open up. Voice bank is the alphas, the Latin base essentially, or the Latin, you know, no hiragana alphas, and then there's the novelties, and then there's the rhythm kit, which is the Spacebars. So. I wish it was easy because it reminds me of the RF. Oh, the Hatsune Miku Real Force. I know the one you're talking about. It's just like the Hello Kitty one, right? It's like I know there are a variety of themed Real Force boards. So okay, so here is the if module. So this is the if module. So the if module. So the if module is based on sort of a darker you know, like modifier based color, and the color scheme is specifically, I'll read here what Zerp told me. It's based on K's, or Miku's original artist, that's the name, K's alternate take on an early design concept for Miku, which featured a single ponytail and darker colors for an overall different aesthetic. And so pretty cool stuff. Basically, it's sort of like an alternate concept art for Miku, and the colorway is sort of based on that, which is pretty cool. Still uses the same magenta and the blue-green here, but instead of these lighter gray and magenta modifiers, we have the blue-green on, I guess this is like either like a very dark gray, almost black color. So pretty cool. And as you can see from here, you have modifiers that have like Japanese on them, right? And so you also have the ISO enter here right away here in the front, and then on the back we have here the pretty much all the rest. So we have the numero keys here that would correspond to essentially a the non-ANSI is on here, and then here's the ANSI correspondent version of that. And then, you know, you have all your extra stuff. So you have your ANSI pipe, your ANSI enters, you have the 4.5, wait, is it 4.5? Yeah, 4.5 use spacebar if I recall correctly for JIS, and pretty much all your extra ANSI keys and whatnot, but pretty much an extremely stacked kit. Like, I now cannot say never have I ever seen a fully stacked 2-tray combo for the current GMK trays. So, you know, as you can see, it's really stacked, super full of keycaps, and so, you know, really cool. But yeah, it's, if you're wondering why the price is kind of like higher, you know, there's many reasons, but this is one of them. Another reason, for example, people might say, oh, it's $20 more expensive to purchase the if module base kit compared to the standard base kit, which is, you know, this color scheme. And that is because the MOQs are different, right? So if you consider the regular base kit with the lighter gray modifiers, that one is, you know, if you look on the website, it's going to be like $20 cheaper, something like that. That is because, you know, it's getting produced with the keyboard as well, and there's also the separate sets, right? So basically the MOQ that they're kind of going for is higher, and so, you know, and that's also like the original color scheme, and so, you know, the reach is higher there. And for the if module, you know, you have a lower MOQ that they're kind of going for, and so, you know, the pricing is going to be different. The lower the amount that you produce, the price breaks are not as nearly as good, and so, you know, obviously the price is going to vary for that reason. You know, and of course, you know, we have an official licensed product, so, you know, that means everybody's got to put the food on the table, sort of thing, and, you know, everyone, you know, there's business involved in that decision, and so, you know, there's also that. But, you know, it's pretty cool. It's very comprehensive for what it costs, to be honest. And, you know, if you were to do this in a split form where you had a base and an extension kit essentially for the GIS stuff and whatnot, you know, I would imagine it's comparable or actually even more expensive if you had to do this in a more traditional format. By traditional, I really mean in the way that we typically do this in like group buys or pre-orders in the community, right? But obviously this is, you know, a licensed product, and it kind of goes through a whole different pipeline and whole different process, but, you know, alas, here we are. So once again, here is kind of like the banderole or the box. You have the blue, green, and the magenta here, kind of, you know, and we have this over here, and then, you know, appropriate logos where they need to be. And so that's the box of the if module. I dread to think what GIS would cost on its own. Yeah. And not to mention, you know, if you market this in a in a Western market like ours, how many people would be buying a GIS kit, right? So really not many, if at all. And so, you know, it's a completely different thing. You know, market this in Japan only too, or whatever it is, right? It's completely different math to make that even happen. Like, in a way, it almost puts that in jeopardy, right? And so, I think it's pretty cool that, you know, Xerp in this case kind of thought through this process and made sure that, you know, the kitting was as comprehensive as possible in one go. And, you know, here the pricing is, you know, fairly aggressive, considering all those factors. And so I think it's a kind of a cool move, and it kind of makes sense in the spirit of, you know, this being a collab and this being, you know, part of this like licensed thing. And, you know, obviously like there is a big fandom for Miku and whatnot in Japan, and obviously it's also kind of nice to sort of like normalize some of this part too. And so I think it was a nice touch. So I personally can appreciate that quite a lot. But yeah, so as Xerp just said, Nephlock did the banderole design, and I think it came out very nice. So here is our spacebar kit. So it appears it has sort of like the if darker colored accent spacebar, 625 and 7U, I believe. This looks to me like it's a 6U bar. Here's 3Us over here, and then we have shorter bars as well, extra B if you need like Alice layout kind of stuff. So, you know, pretty comprehensive spacebar kit. So I think this is 6U centered and off centered. And then I will open up the extra kit here that we have. One of my favorite comments from Twitter was, paraphrase from Japanese, I didn't think they would make another GIS set other than GMK GIS. Oh wait, comments from Twitter? Are there comments on Twitter about this specifically? I kind of want to know what people are saying about it. I'm kind of interested. I just wonder what the reception of this will be in general. Especially because it's like kind of like we're mixing like a specialized hobby with another in a way, or I mean not specialized hobby, but really communities. Like both in the sense of like there's Miku, there's the fandom, there is music production as a whole, there's that whole thing, there is keyboards, there's that whole thing. The markets obviously have developed on both sides completely differently and quite extensively, and so I'm just kind of wondering what the reception of this is. So pretty cool. Okay, so in somewhat more standard GMK tray fashion, we have some disorganization here, but you can see quite well that it is a Latin sort of like base kit, or not sorry, base kit, Alphas kit rather. And so I'm gonna just semi-organize some of these keycaps, but you know, you can sort of see that it has, you know, all the standard stuff here. Z, X, C, V, B, and M, etc. Very beautiful color, in my opinion. I think this blue-green sort of color it's pretty. It has a punch to the color, first of all. Like, you see the color and you're like, well, that's a very vibrant, like, you know, blue-green color. And as I said before, the gray and magenta here is, you know, at first it seems fairly low contrast, but I think in person it looks a lot better. And even on camera, right, like it gets captured differently depending on the person's setup. And so but in my opinion, I think the contrast of it is like the legends themselves are still pretty visible IRL. So yeah, that's my take on the mods. The especially like I think the contrast is actually worse if I'm looking at my screen, which has the video feed from the camera, and it's like this top down, you know, there's like lighting coming from this side. I have my light right here, and it's kind of like shining on me like this, and so there's a bit reflected there, but like this specific angle is not working out too well for the contrast on the mods. But when I'm looking at it in person, the contrast on the modifiers here with the gray and the magenta is actually pretty crisp. It's completely visible, like no doubt. So would appreciate regardless, if not Miku. Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. So, okay. So, you know, we got that. So I'm gonna just for now put this aside. And I think the next sort of thing to do here would be to essentially, you know, try it out. But, you know, I can kind of show this once again now that it's like lit up. And so the gaskets are like semi-visible. Here you can see the sort of like blue-green color peeking through the frosted polycarb. And so, you know, you can switch through your gaskets with the magenta ones if you want that like hot pink magenta color sort of like punching through the plastic. But you know, they're essentially identical gaskets, so it makes no difference to switch the gaskets. It's in feel. I believe this is currently pre-built with all the foam and whatnot in there. I can check. So we will open this up anyway because I will be planning on putting this guy on, these switches on. So for now, let's try this out. Let's see. So I'm just gonna look at the listing here. Yeah, of course I can put the magenta gaskets, yes. So here is the listing. So that's the classic blue switches, but here's a listing for the Classic-TKL Hatsune Miku edition complete keyboard kit, and it, you know, it is $249 US, and it pretty much says what it includes. So, oh sorry, it's an ABS housing, my bad, not polycarb. I always get those mixed up. But ABS housing, polycarbonate plate, hot swap, 1.6mm PCB, USB-C daughter board and JST cable, that's internally, switch pad, plate foam, and case foam already installed, 7 teal rubber gasket socks, they're 20A, And then assembly hardware, NK Blue linear switches, and TypePlus stabilizers already on there. So these are completely assembled. And then there's the GMK Keycaps. And then, you know, externally, we also had, you know, the extra keys inside of the box, rubberized magenta USB-C to A cable, which is what we just put on. And then, you know, extra stuff, extra pink gasket socks, and, you know, the Torx key. And pretty much, you know, all the details are here. You can get an extra plate if you want. You can even, you know, get one yourself. You know, like cut one for yourself outside of this, but very nice. But yeah, do note that the included keycaps for the main for the complete keyboard kit is different from what you would get if you just got the key set itself. Okay, so $249 kit includes basically what's necessary for the classic TKL and additional novelties, essentially, right? I do see a little render error here. This says caps, but it's actually caps lock, because in person I see a two-liner legend for the caps lock. Just FYI, Zerb, if you're here. But yeah. And then, you know, you get two different color gaskets. P-Wade changed the caps. Did he answer to that, actually, V? I actually don't know. Did he answer to that ever? Did he care? And then, you know, lol, no. Oh, of course. I mean, it's his preference. I can't change it. He has been pretty adamant about this stuff again, so he has strong preferences, actually. P-Wade is one of those guys that he has strong preferences. So can't dissuade him, you know. This is like designer senses tingling or whatever. So this is the regular base kit, right? So the regular base kit here has everything, okay? JIS, 7U, 625U, extra stuff. There are some UV printed things, right? They're the ones marked with the little blue dot over here at the corner. Those are all UV printed keys. But you know, this key set is stacked, and so that costs $165 you know, pre-shipping and whatnot. The if module base does cost $20 more, again, for considerations of MOQ. It's just different. And then, you know, the Latin Alphas kit is $70, not cheap, admittedly. $65 for a pretty comprehensive novelties kit. Again, if you're not into novelties, then it is what it is. I actually, that does make me wonder. What novelties did I get? Let me get that extra tray. Oh, okay. So, one thing I was checking was if the 249, you know, the keyboard included with keycap kit included that cool silhouette ISO enter, which I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't really build with ISO enter, but it's a cool novelty. So if you look at this novelty with the standing Miku silhouette, that one's pretty cool. But yeah, so you know, pretty comprehensive novelties kit. Again, you know, you get all the options, and then you know the rhythm kit, which is space bars of all the sizes, but basically extra coverage for layouts, and as well as like essentially these accent space bars. But yeah. Don't ask me about references and specifically like Hatsune Miku lore / history, because I'm not nearly as familiar. But you know, I think Zerb in the chat can also answer some of those questions. But yeah. Okay, so I think it is time for us to just try this out straight out of the box. So I'm gonna do just that. Okay. All right, so let me put this I see you, Shonis. I see you, Frank. Okay, let me put the mic over here. Okay, so okay, I think the mic here is good. Okay, let us put the hold on. What's this? Oh. Let's see. Okay. Sankyu sounds like Miku apparently. The others are a little bit more straightforward. Oh, interesting. I see. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the music here for a sec, and let's try this out. So, we have a completely quote-unquote stock build, where we have a Hatsune Miku themed classic TKL. If you didn't notice, there is a little, oops, sorry. It says Hatsune Miku on the badge here, pretty nice, in magenta on silver. But this is the NK Classic, pretty much comes pre-built right out of the box. It is pre-built with a polycarbonate plate, has all the pads and foam and whatnot in there. We also have sort of like a standard base kit on here, GMK caps, right? So double shot ABS keycaps. The switches are NK Classic Blue switches. These are the TypePlus developed switches that came out pretty recently. These are factory lubricated. I think it's like a 63.5 gram spring, if I recall correctly. And they're pretty smooth and nice out of the box as well. But yeah, so this is the NK Classic built with all that. Description you can find in the product page. The other pronunciation for san is mi, so that's how they get Miku. Oh. Taking notes. Thanks for the info on 3.9, or more like thank you for the info. Okay. Okay, I didn't say that. Okay. Let's try typing on this. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. NK Classic Blue switches on a polycarb plate on this Hatsune Miku edition NK Classic. There it is. I've known the Sankyu thing for ages because of cheeky restaurant names. I see. That's cool. Anyway, so sounds pretty nice, right? I think it sounds great out of the box. I mean, obviously, I knew that these switches were nice. I know that the NK Classic also sounds nice, and GMK is GMK caps, so they also sound good. But sounds pretty good. Yeah. What's your thoughts on GMK sets getting expensive? $170 base kits and 80 child kits. For instance, Mutagen would send me back $350 for base and 2 child kits. I think the thing about Mutagen is a little different. It uses special effect resin essentially, right? And so the cost consideration of Mutagen is different from a regular, 2-3 color with their kind of like standard, you know, resin pigment stuff going on for GMK. The special effects stuff is actually, I think it is priced differently essentially. And so mutagen is kind of like a little bit of an out of the box thing. Of course, it certainly doesn't help that pricing is also affected by, well, the ongoing financial hardships, or some people might say winning circumstances of the free world, aka you know, orange instigated you know, you know, pushing burden on other people, sort of thing. But you know, basically the tariffs, and so it certainly doesn't help that the world's situation is like this, on top of rising costs and whatever. And so yeah, GMK sets being more expensive from vendors is, I don't think, reflects vendors specifically marking them up more. I think it more so represents the strenuous conditions of the world that we live in at the moment. Unfortunately, not to mention the special considerations such as MOQ and different materials, different reagents essentially for the manufacturing process. And so, you know, if you do look at other sets though, like, I don't think the price is that bad, or the price increase is that apparent. So I personally would somewhat disagree with kits actually being priced, or rather marked up by vendors specifically to make it more expensive. I don't think that's the case. I think it's all these other factors really kicking back and saying, hello, this is the real world that we live in now. Unfortunately, when it comes to purchasing stuff for yourself, you know, consuming, it's ultimately a personal choice. And so if it is too expensive for you to buy, vote with your wallet, right? I think it's important to know when to draw the line. That maybe will have an effect on the market. And you know, if prices need to come down because the market can't support it overall, then the market itself should kind of vote with their wallet to show that. But it's tough. Yeah. Also seems fair to blame a certain member of the executive branch for this. Yes, exactly. Also, hey, Captain Sterling, thank you so much for the raid. We are trying out the Miku collection over here. Just typed on this Hatsune Miku edition Classic-TKL. And thanks for the raid. Thank you. All right. Let's go back to the typing part. I just did that. Let's check out the mods here for the board. Sounds really good. I mean, the stabs, I don't think they need any touch-ups. So they sound fantastic right now, pre-built in this board. So, I love Hatsune Miku, but $250 for the black base kit and knobs is insane work. Again, as I said, prices are the way they are because the kitting is also pretty stacked. MOQ considerations are different, and finally, it is a licensed product. It involves two companies coming together to work on this. It involves designers who worked on this, and so prices changed based on the factors. If it's too expensive, perhaps there will be an opportunity to get it at a better rate, perhaps used or otherwise. But it's no one's obligated, and so it is not cheap. It's a premium product at the end of the day when it comes to GMK caps, but I think, at least in consideration of the kit, in consideration of all these things, the price reflected is actually fair, I would say. It's not cheap, though. It's not cheap. Yeah. 99 base kits are long gone, brothers and sisters. Let's get used to new meta. Yeah, I mean, $99 base kits were also like the numbers for that were completely different. Not to mention the reassurance that the market was healthy enough that any stock would also clear. Right. I mean, and specifically for NovelKeys, we've also seen pretty deep cut clearance sales. So who knows? Maybe they will have a small but significant enough number of extras later, and maybe you can wait long enough, and maybe you can get it on sale. Maybe not. Maybe you have to pay a price in the market. Hard to predict. No one's gonna ever predict that, but here we are. Okay, so that's the sound of the board. Let's go back to taking a look at the board, and maybe this time we can try these somewhat themed, but not quite the same color, but you know, close enough that I could try switches. And so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take apart the board, and we'll do some changes here and there. We'll change our lovely gasket socks, and also maybe take out some of the parts on the inside, like the foam and whatnot. You know, see how it changes the sound. Might be for the worse. I don't know. It is pretty much a different material switch. It is lubed by hand. It is also, yeah, it's just different. I don't know. It might sound bad. It might sound good. I don't really know. Let's try it. And maybe we can also put the if module for that one, and that'll be fun. And yeah, we'll just try things. NK flash sales. Yeah, I mean, some of those sales were like crazy. Okay, like getting some, like, okay, is Mr. Sleeves like remainder kit still like in stock? Because I'm pretty sure those are like $10 or something like that. Retail was like so much more. I was like, oh damn. I was like, damn, I bought at full price. I didn't get $10 Mr. Sleeves child kits. Love your JSKRs in collection. Oh, thank you. Alright, so inside we have our large silicone sort of like piece that's in the case. And this is our daughter board over here. So this one is sort of like part of, you know, kind of wedges into this like nicely injection molded part, ABS part. And we have our the Miku silhouette base here as well. We also have a little bit of foam here. And then here we have our internals. So the internals are built like this. I can see already that there is case foam as well, or sorry, plate foam as well. The gasket socks here installed are the blue-green ones. I don't think that JST cable is long enough. Long enough is needed. If you buy the keyboard, it's like you're buying a full price GMK set that also happens to come with a keyboard. Yeah, that part is actually kind of crazy because it honestly, the board itself, the complete keyboard bundle is a really good deal in my opinion. But you know, that's subjective and all that, but alas. Okay, so let's do this thing where I take off the keycaps like a savage. Actually, they kind of come off easily, so I'll just take them off. And the Deskmat, I think the Deskmat's pretty cool. Is this a GMK set? Yes, it is. It is. It is. It is. It's pretty cool. Yeah, no, I'm genuinely excited for the people who like this because it is really nice. Like, the bundle is a good deal, and it honestly looks pretty good in person. I have GMK Miku at home. Keycaps Abyss. Oh. Yes, so the TKL bundle also doesn't have full compatibility. So it's with the Classic-TKL in mind, which is a 7U standard ANSI styled, not standard ANSI, but like ANSI 7U styled, you know, TKL. So the kitting is set with that in mind. So it won't have everything that you need for alternative layouts. So if you are interested in getting the set for pretty much everything else, and in between, you know, you probably want to get the key set itself. But yeah. Which, yes, admittedly, it's not inexpensive. So these are the NK Classic Blue switches. Looks like that. Actually, I just remembered that I think I have this not set on autofocus. Now it's gonna focus. The colors are all custom in the GMK sense of the word. Yeah. Pantones in the big 2.5. Where's my Rals? I'm just kidding. I'm just being facetious. I'm just being totally facetious. It's a pre-order, right? Yes, it is a pre-order. Let me check the website for you. It is currently open until November 1st. November 1st, 10 p.m. Eastern Time is the deadline for you to place an order. What material is the mat you have? So I actually have both of the mats. The first mat is right here. This is the microfiber version. So this one has like a very soft to the touch, and you know, has like a kind of like more reflective sheen to it. And so if you look it up close, kind of like the printing is very, very crisp on these. And then I have the rough version of the mat placed on the desk right now. So I'm gonna try to like lift this without spilling everything over. But you know, you can sort of see that the texture is different, right? So it's not as crisp on the printing, but it does kind of appear like almost like pixelated, like a little bit more, like not pixelated actually. It's like just texture. It just has texture to it. So some roughness to it. That's it. I think still it looks quite good. Like, you know, quality wise, and just like the overall print quality is very good in my opinion. I personally really like the rough version here. Like the smooth version is nice if you want like perfectly crisp everything, and also like, you know, a smoother surface for you to, you know, do whatever, like, you know, like if you're using a mouse or whatever. But I've been getting used to these rougher mats as of late, and I can personally appreciate them for what they are. So I enjoy the rough surface quite a lot, but you know, that's just me, right? It looks great. It really looks great. So if you are interested, like, I think you can't go wrong with either. Personally, if I had to choose, I would personally choose the rough one. I just like the texture more. I just like the feeling of this texture, and like it. I mean, you know, I play games too, and it hasn't hindered gaming. It hasn't really affected how I feel about using the mat on a regular basis. Like, I have other mats that are like rough as well. I have like, I think it was like the cherry brown paper mat. I have like the concrete mat, the one the lamp made, and a few others. And so it's pretty nice. Gotta head to bed. Peace out, Diego. Okay, Metaverm. Take it easy. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Also, thank you for those who came from Captain Sterling's or Alex's streams. Thanks for stopping by, and also thanks for sticking around. For those who came from elsewhere, you know, welcome. So I'm just gonna take these out. I think I have like literally exactly 85 switches on this thing. I mean on the Everglide ones. So I think I'm one short technically, but I'll just maybe leave one of the Classic Blues in like a corner. Should I take off the foam on this, like all of the foam, and just try it without foam? Which switch puller is that? I think this was the... Was this the Wuchi Studio one? I think so. It's pretty nice. I've really enjoyed using this because, first of all, it's a little bit longer. It's also very nice and straight here at the end. So it pretty much makes... Like, it makes this part really nice and sturdy. So even when you're, like, pinching the switch like clips, it doesn't really bend or anything, so it's been really nice and sturdy. I've been enjoying using this one quite a bit. It's like just like easier to grip and use. I think it is a Wuche Studio one. Yeah, I bought it. I got it from Canon Keys. Yeah, I bought it from Canon Keys like a while back. But yeah, really nice puller. You know, if you're in the market for one, I do recommend it because it's been a good friend, a very good tool. Kinetic has one, but I literally bent it. Must have been really low quality. Yeah, it's because of like some of them. So some of them are like not a harder metal, and some of them also just have like a kind of thin, like they. So like at this end, they like really taper off, which makes it really thin and bendy at the end. So not a huge fan. Okay. So now I gotta take off these countersunk screws if I want to remove the foam. Did I not get that? I thought I did. Okay. So remove the foam here. Let's do a foamless, okay? Fully foamless, all right? No pea foam, no whatchamacallit, plate foam. Let's just do that. If it sounds meh, then you know it's fine. It's no big deal. Oh, is this the one that? Oh, it's like under the thing. Okay. Call me lazy, but with pea foams like this, I actually do prefer them not to be underneath the wire like that. So I'm just gonna pull here and cut it here. Basically, it doesn't affect the way it functions. That way I can just take it out without actually moving the stabs. Oh wait, I think I can just drag this out. Yay, okay, sweet. Okay, so I pulled all the little, all the foam out. The stabs can stay as is because they are quite nice. I'm just gonna put these little pieces back. Bro, hello. Also, HNNHW. How many boards in your collection now? The answer is yes. But I have a lot. I have a lot of boards. I don't know the exact count. I have a lot, but also, you know, for stuff that I showcase, I don't keep a lot of this stuff. They either go back to designer, or they go out to a different content creator a lot of times too. So for the showcase stuff, I don't keep it. I don't keep all of it. So yeah. All right, let's try doing this now with these Tourmaline Blue, I think it's called, Everglide Tourmaline Blue switches. So they're just completely different switches. Good thing it is hot swap though. Not clipping, but maybe I should use a plate fork. ¿Dónde está my plate fork? Hey, yo, do you get the gray board or the black board? Oh, my bad. Were there different colors? The gray board or the black board? Do you mean, did I get the gray set or the darker set? I thought there was only one board. One board, 2 key sets. I do have both of the key sets though. Well, I have the standard one that's included in the bundle, and then I have the if module separate. I should update that build command, but I'm not sure if do I have any mods in the chat? Unsure. I'm here. Oh, Mr. Koopo, save me. Okay. So I'll tell you. I need the build command updated. So type exclamation build if you wouldn't mind. I just need to read it out. I actually just don't remember what exactly was on it right now. I need to check out the okay, it is built with okay, so it's that second sentence you can say it will be built with, these are Everglide Tourmaline Blue. Everglide Tourmaline Blue. Switches, these are looped with 25G0. And I forget what springs they have, don't worry about it. I think the weighting is fine. And then with TX films. Tourmaline, T-O-U-R, like tour. People say tour and people say tour. Do you know that that word is said differently by different people? Tour and tour. It's one of those tricky words. It's like people saying drawer differently. Is stream muted? No. I'm doing AP Physics 1 test corrections right now. It's a pain. Tortellini. Yes. Tortellini. Or do you want to say it like that? Buongiorno. Tortellini. Are you on mobile? Oh, yes, fixed. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, you're on mobile? Oh no. That's pain. Oh, I'm so sorry, Koopo. Did not want to inflict this pain on you. Oh my god, I can't believe you're doing this. Oh. What's that? Oh, bye. I'm sorry, I'm Twitch. No! No! You are not doing that. What the hell, dude? What? No, 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 Mr. Google. Do not Twitch and drive. I'm talking to Siri? Jesus Christ. Siri sent Twitch emote. Okay, now I know you're just shit posting. But are you actually driving? Don't drive and do this. Oh my god, scary. No, no. Okay. My computer is in the other room. Oh. What's up with your computer? Everything okay? And I'm comfy. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I can say Kiwi is comfy too. Do you guys want to see a picture of Kiwi? Wait, where's my phone? I'll show you a picture of Kiwi. This was him earlier. Look at his little paws. And this was him the other day. And then he sat up. Look at his arm. He looks like he's doing sheesh, sheesh, sheesh. Okay, I guess not, but I just like to say that. Okay, clearly, I just love my sorry, love our cat. He's sleeping now though. Also, yeah, if you hear like all these sounds from the sink, it's because the kitchen's next to me. Emphasize the hour part. Yeah, well, no. We do this thing where we emphasize our part, and we do the handshake thing. We do our cat. You know? Cutie, Kiwi too. You're both equally Kiwis humans? Servants, let me correct you. Humans? That's a downgrade. Okay. Oh, what's this? Is this tea? Thank you. Oh. Definitely my better half. Thank you. Oh, you need, okay, sorry. Okay, goodbye. I got tea. Yay! It's very refreshing. Iced tea. Cheers, cheers. Clink. Guys, for work today, I had to, so like last week, I was kind of like panicking a little bit, because, so, you know, we had a meeting essentially with like a collaborator or a person, right? Or rather really like a different company. We were like visiting like a different company. So, you know, I like showed up to the office this morning, and, you know, that other company is like, you know, like in a different town. So we had to like drive there, right? It was just like me and basically the director of our company and another one of my, technically my boss, I guess. And like we were all going to like visit this company, and, you know, I was panicking because I had to, you know, it's kind of far away, right? It was like an hour and a half from where like our office was. And so like I had to rent a car to drive the CEO of the company that I work for, right? Over there. Meanwhile, the other person, you know, they live closer to that HQ, so they're just driving there directly in the morning, right? And so last week I was like panicking. I was like, oh my god, I have to drive like an hour and a half, just me and the director of my company, right? Like in the car. And so I was like, oh my god, you know, because it's like when it's only two people, it's kind of harder, right? Because you have to like make combo, and you have to be like interesting and interested. And and I can't just go about and be like multi-track drifting, and so you know, and drive safely, and and then I was like, oh, do I need to prep a playlist for this? I should have brought a Miku playlist. No, maybe I would have. They would have been like, what's this? What is this? Can you explain more? What small talk do you bring up? Keyboard? No, I do not bring keyboards up anywhere. Nope. I do not bring up keyboards. Oh, I'm short a few more switches than I thought, or am I? Did I not like? Did I miscount these? I guess I did. Okay. Well, sorry. I guess I will move some of these switches. I miscounted my switches, I guess. I'll fill up the arrow cluster, because I think you guys might want to know what that's like. And then I'll just fill out the rest with the NK Classic Blues. Actually, rather, here. Just talk about keyboards? No, I'm not gonna bring up keyboards to them. No. I'm too shy for that stuff. although I mean, to be fair, there are people out there who know about me and keyboards, right? Like that's like a, you know, for some people it's a known fact, but I don't just bring this up like it's, yeah, no, I don't do that. Just don't want to do that. Then next thing I know, it's like I have work things and this like personal life thing kind of makes, and it's kind of awkward, and, you know, time commitments, and yeah, no, it's a little iffy over there. That's difficult territory. Then they'll ask how much they cost. They don't even need to ask. These are all smart people. I mean, some of them are like way smarter than I am. And like, yeah, no, they would know right away. It's not rocket science over here. They're the ones doing rocket science, so, or not literally, but you know, they're just very smart people. I actually was listening to my boss give a talk today, and like I was like, damn, they're awesome. They're such a good speaker. They like really leave like no stone like unturned, or you know, or whatever the way that idiom goes, the expression goes. But basically, like, you know, they're so good at addressing all the questions in the room, and like such a good, yeah, I was genuinely impressed. That said, I did have to give like a demo sort of thing today, like with like the product that we have, and I think we crushed it. But I think it went well overall, which was nice. But yeah, and well, anyway, I was telling you that I panicked over this whole thing, like over this whole shenanigan, like last week. But no, it turned out to be good. Conversation was nice and easy, and we just chatted about all sorts of stuff. And the ride was surprisingly smooth. I was expecting a lot more traffic because I was renting a car in New York City and then driving out in the morning is like crazy, because also there are the UN is meeting this week, I think this week, yeah, and there was a lot of traffic in Midtown New York today, so I was glad I didn't face nearly as much of that. It was heavy traffic, but it was not like impossible. The build command isn't updated. Oh yes, I will update it shortly. Thank you. Okay, maybe the only thing I'll leave in is this silicone piece, because it kind of gives it nice heft, and I think it does fill out a good amount of space in the case that I think is just best left filled. And it's technically not foam, it's just like a silicone piece, and it just kind of slots in nicely with this. Okay, is this the right way? Trump already roasted the UN ones? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, do you guys see the memes about Tylenol use? Or Tylenol and stuff? Crazy, man. I hope... I'm not gonna say anything. This shit's crazy, though. Alright. How accurate are those findings? I mean, let's just put it one way. One thing is ignoring the science completely. So, oh whoops, these people. I'm not sure if findings is even a fair word to use there, but anyway, I digress. All right. Give us autism if we already have it. Oh my gosh. Hiya. I like that meme with the what the railroad system would be like meme that someone posted. That was funny. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. We don't have a nice transcontinental network of railway systems in the U.S. and I don't think we ever will. But meanwhile, the rest of the world has had it for like 50 years or whatever, with high-speed rail and clean trains. But anyway. Okay, yes, I will update the build command. I will update it without keycaps because someone was asking and I feel bad. Exclamation, edit, command, exclamation, build, and then I'll copy this, and then I will paste it there, and then it is built with Everglide Tourmaline Blue? Green? Blue-green? Technically Everglide Tourmaline Blue switches. These are lubed with 205G0. I'm not sure what springs. And with TX films. They're mounted onto a polycarbonate full plate. Yeah, that's good. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Done. Okay. All right. Now that we've done this, I think we can go ahead and I'm just gonna put the rest of these keycaps into this bag for now, and we can use the if module kit this time. Needed some novelties on that, but oh, whatever. Okay. Let's see. So let's try. Should we try if module with the Latin character kit? Just kind of deck it out with all the kits that we have here. So that would mean maybe I'll put the alphas on first. So let's do that. So these guys are on first. Are these clicky switches, by the way? No, these are linears. These are linears. Also, today is the first day of fall here in North America. Oh, wait, what? Today is the first day of fall? I thought the first day of fall was 21st. Is it? Since when is it 23rd? How could you use Latin when Miku is Japanese? Well, let me tell you, my friend. If you look into the software, there is an English voice bank module as well. So, actually, this is totally valid and totally canon. Solstice, oh, it alternates. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm not as smart as you, Mr. Kupo. Solstices are 21st and equinox are 23rd. Aha! I see, I see. My bad, my bad. That's my fault. Okay, there's the Latin kit here. And then we can get the if base kit here, if module. So need some modifiers from that. As you can see, I have some NK Classic Blues here on the top right side, so take that with a grain of salt. But everything else will basically sound like it was built with these guys. Okay, so actually, didn't I have those novelties here? I'll use those novelties for the shifts. These are double shot, aren't they? Ooh, very nice. Have you tried the NK Blue switches in a build yet? Yeah, I did. I don't remember which one exactly it was that I tried, but yeah, I did try them at some point. If you search my channel, I think they'll pop up. Okay, I'm gonna look at the extra novelties here. Maybe then I can use some of these guys. Kind of wish I had another one that color. Let me see what else I got here. Okay, my first impressions with them, were not great, but definitely get better after some break-in. Oh, really? I thought they were pretty nice. To be honest, I thought they were nicer than a bunch of other factory lube switches that I've seen. You didn't like them though, but I mean, then again, Sunny, you have boomer taste. You like your cherry, right? So, you know, I know. Maybe I'll just do the magenta accent for this. And backspace. I think the factory loop settled and needed some rustling. Oh, okay, well, get them rustling. All right. Okay. Oh. 7U spacebar. And super. Oh, forgot the tab over here. With that escape, and kind of do wish I had a wait. Do I have a third novelty? Okay. No, wait, no, I don't. Because these are all the other colorway, right? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna do this instead. Instead of using these guys, I will switch with the logo Hatsune Miku novelty and put print scroll pause back where they are. Okay. That's done. Right? How's that look? Kind of dressed it up in a more classic way here, with some novelties, but also not like, you know, we are also trying the F module here, which kind of has higher contrast, right? So pretty nice. I took out the foam of the board, so I took out the P foam, the case foam, and the plate foam. And there it is. So here you can see it from this side. Pretty nice. Okay, I can turn that off for now. Actually, I don't remember what the specific key for this was. RGB. There we go. Okay. Effect speed. There we go. Okay. Does this come in when keyless variant? Not the bundle, but I thought that there were when keyless variants of Classic-TKL, right? Or was it in the works? I can't keep up with all the news. But oh, well, unfortunately, technically no. Actually, let me clarify that. Technically no, because the because this one does come with a badge already installed as well. So if you wanted everything kind of like exactly as is, and then with when keyless, then technically no, right? Is this logo a sticker? Oh shoot, I should have checked. I don't know. Is this screwed on? It kind of feels like it is, but I would need to open it back up. Or if you go back on the VOD, I guess you can see it. I don't remember what this looked like on the NK Classic. Ah! I wish I could tell you right away, but I don't remember. I guess if I watch my own VOD, I could see it, right? Let's see if it doesn't go back on the VOD. I'll check it for you really quickly. Wow, Twitch is taking forever to load. Okay, when do I undo this board? Okay. I think it looks like it's a sticker or like wedged in. I don't see a screw under this. So it's not like a piece that you would just take apart. Okay, let's try this out. So do this, and this time maybe we can do it from this angle. Is that nice and visible here? I was asking because you might be able to do surgery with the when keyless top. Hey, nothing you can't fix with hand CNC. Just kidding. I'm just joking. Don't try it at home if you are not experienced doing things. Arts and crafts over here, but yeah. Okay, let's try this out, shall we? Gonna turn this off, and all right. So this time we have, you know, no foam, only silicone inside piece. So this is Tourmaline Blue, or Everglide Tourmaline Blue switches on a polycarb plate. And again, this is the if module with Latin alphas. I think it's voice bank kit. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. All right, let's check it out. Here we go. Damn it, I choked. Oh, so close. I choked slightly. I think my all-time high on monkey type is like 145, so I kind of choked there. It's maintaining some good rate there. Okay, so sounds like GMK, sounds like keyboard. Yeah, but it sounds good, right? Even without foam, I think the Classic-TKL is, has been a pretty nice sounding board. So I think it's a nice kit. But yeah, if you're going for the bundle, then I think it's a pretty enjoyable experience out of the box. And even if you decide to switch it up, I think it'll still be pretty nice. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna walk through the mods, I guess. Here are the mods. This part again, just these three, and I think these three have Classic Blue switches. So ignore those, but everything else has the Everglide switches. So these are NK Classic Blues here. Pretty nice sounding too. So either way, I think it sounded pretty nice. But yeah, kind of like a cleaner look, so to speak, if you go with the voice band kit, the Latin Alphas kit. So if you're leaning towards that, this is pretty much what it will look like. Obviously, I use some of the novelties here, but looks pretty good. And yeah, you can kind of see the contrast of the blue-green against the is it Zerp? If you're here, is it dark gray or is it black? Technically, it's almost black, though it's a very, very dark color. So just FYI. But yeah, that's what it looks like. Charcoal. Okay, thank you. Charcoal sounds good. Yeah, charcoalish color. Looks like dark gray. Black would be darker, I think. Well, lucky for you guys, I literally have these guys handy. So it's a very dark gray. Okay, I see now. So here you have a color checker. Here you have, this is CR. CR is black, so it's a little bit darker, I would say. If you want to look at it up close, that's black right there. Similar, sort of like similar lighting almost. But yeah. So yeah, GMK color chips here. They're a little older, but still work. I mean, obviously some of them do this color over time, but as good as it gets. I obviously have them around for keycap set stuff and whatnot. So yeah. But yeah, so a very, very dark gray is what we have here for the color of the dark modifiers. All right. Okay. The janitor keycap ring kind of definitely has that vibe, huh? Yeah. But yeah, so here it is. Hatsune Miku desk pad. The if module and the key set. Here from this angle if you want to see it from here, but it looks pretty good to me. And yeah, so quite nice. Personally, I think the price of this is pretty fair considering all the things that it includes. So I would personally say it's totally a good purchase, I think, if you are a fan of Hatsune Miku, and also if you are into this particular color scheme. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. So hang that on your car rear view. That's fair. Time to drill a little hole into your keycaps in the back. Just put a little keychain ring on it. Okay. Did I miss anything? I don't think I missed any particular mentions, did I? Or any questions? And if you're a fan, keep it low key. Hey, I don't see what's wrong. I think Miku is super cool. Miku kind of reminds me of Tristan's DCX set Dragon Darts. DCX Dragon Darts. Sterling, right? I think that was his set. Oh, kinda. I think the main thing is the modifiers are blue, right? Like that's a dark blue color on it. It's pretty different in that sense. It's more like and that's a red orange almost, but different vibe for sure. The like teal color that he used is it's brighter. It's like significantly brighter. Yeah, and it uses a dark blue base on the modifiers from what I can tell. Kind of, that actually reminds me a little bit more of like Calm Depth's modifiers, which uses a dark blue and a like lighter one, or even like Hammerhead is kind of close to this. Hammerhead dark base is actually kind of close to this, for like modifiers and stuff. Yeah, but I mean, you know, it's not like a teal blue-green color, and blues have not, or like, you know, darker high contrast themes have not been uncommon in like every regard. So I'm not too surprised to see a similar set. Like, it's, yeah. But yeah, the actually, you know what? I do have my GMK color keys, right? So let me show you, to compare it to some other colors. So this is TU2 is the stock cyan color, on the GMK color ring here, right? It's close, but the GMK cyan is actually slightly more blue tinted and a little bit darker in hue. It's a little hard to tell here, but that's what I see in real life. It's a little bit bluer, it's a little bit darker. Obviously TU1 is the one that I think was used for Triumphaler, I think. The first one, the 2015 set or something like that. And yeah, that's what obviously is like a lot bluer and a lot darker. But yeah, it's all custom, right? So but just to kind of give you a reference, it's slightly lighter than this one, than TU2, which is the cyan color chip that GMK has. So it's a nice color though. Obviously very high contrast legends because we have this like charcoal kind of almost black color. So yeah, just to give you a sense for it. I think ads are about to hit for people, so sorry for that. Just Twitch doing Twitch things. Yeah. Xerp has been working on this for quite a while, 5+ years. Yeah, it's a long time. It's a long time. I know. I remember Xerp mentioning this in like Discord servers like long time ago, like in passing, and you know, kind of thinking back, I was like, wow, it really has been that long. So I'm pretty excited for Xerp to kind of like get this to fruition, and obviously for the fans who like would like this. I think this is pretty exciting to see officially licensed collabs and stuff. I think it's really cool. Oh, you want to look at the, yeah, if you want to look at the regular colors here, I think the additional keycap blocks here probably shows it better. So it really isn't, those are very early days. Yeah, this is like right after you did Darling 1. It was a long time ago. Yeah. So, you know, here is the tray. Obviously it's pretty overexposed and you're in the light here, but the contrast of this is actually not as bad. It is kind of like more on the blinding side. Oh, I got an ad. Never mind. I will wait. Yeah. Meanwhile, I can balance this on my head. Until he comes back. Oh my god, I have white hair. Terrible. Okay, people should be back from ads, I think. But that's what the color scheme kind of looks like on the other keycaps. So that's the light gray with the magenta. So yeah, there's a teal. Obviously, it's pretty. I was saying it's pretty overexposed to the light. So it's anyway, like the light is super bright. Okay, I have this like big ass studio light. You know, at what's that, 5500 Kelvin or whatever. You know, daylight, like, you know, setting or whatever. Pretty bright, so kind of shining really bright here. I'm gonna try to like tilt it over to kind of cast a little bit more of a shadow, and so as you cast a shadow, the contrast on the legends is coming out there. It's pretty good, honestly. In like regular indoor settings, this is very much more visible, and I would say if the light is reflecting in such a way that you get the, you know, basically when you get the, like this one is a good example, right? So when you get the full texture of the keys reflected towards you, the contrast does definitely fade a lot more. But even then, in a darker room setting, it's not gonna be that bad. I would say it's pretty subtle. It does remind me a little bit of I was talking to, GMK Alter, right? GMK Alter also had fairly low contrast gray modifiers. And so, you know, that's sort of reminiscent of that a bit. And, you know, the rest is pretty high contrast, so it's kind of easy to tell. Yeah. So, it's interesting. The printed keys sort of have almost like a shade to them. Almost like a little shadow to the characters, so pretty legible. A little different from the way the double shot legends look, so kind of have a shade to them, like a shadow to them. You can kind of tell the most here. You can see that like kind of like dark gray shadow on that. But yeah, nonetheless, pretty crisp legends. So. But yeah, unlike I suppose unlike regular GMK packaging, the extra keycaps that come in the in the bundle come inside of this nice plastic box and then enclosed in this cardboard box and then enclosed in the regular box, which I can show you one more time. So this is the original box for this. So it kind of comes in like this, and then you basically have the keyboard in a plastic bag, and then, or you know, you can also have this extra cover. So it kind of all bundles in this, and then you have keyboard, keycaps, accessories, and that's it for the packaging. And the rest is like in a nice cardboard box that has the Miku silhouette, and you know, Classic-TKL branding. Pretty cool though. Ooh, I just noticed. Is this an Easter egg, or is this like just part of the software stuff? But anyway, like the synth stuff. And you know, logos for the collab, of course. But you know, pretty cool. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. I love that these kinds of things become a reality. It's difficult to get things going. To actually put it to... Is it pattern or sleeves? Oh, okay, my bad. I'm not very knowledgeable, so... I see. That's what it is. The Miku silhouette is Hussein levels of recognizable. Diego, will you be watching the Chainsaw Man movie? Maybe. I don't know. Probably? Maybe? And then, I guess, you know, you saw the desk pad. The desk pad art is pretty much printed around the desk pad tube, which comes with a bag, right? Just regular desk pad bag. And, you know, branding on the cover of the tube. And I guess that's about it. That pretty much covers everything that I think I wanted to cover. Do you see the Demon Slayer one yet? No, because I'm not caught up. I am really far behind on Demon Slayer, specifically on the anime, like on the animated stuff for Demon Slayer. I'm really far behind. I read manga stuff, but I decided not to watch the movies until I'm caught up with everything animated. I'm not caught up at all. I'm like, I think I finished the entertainment, or the, you know, the district arc, and that was when I stopped. And then I kind of, to be honest, I became disinterested in Demon Slayer. More so because of like the waiting and the keeping up, and I was just like, I got better things to do, and I didn't do it. It's just the way it goes. The most recent thing I finished was To Be Hero X, and that was spectacular. If you haven't watched it and you are on the fence, I think it's great. Personally loved it. Super excited for the next season. It's gonna take like 3 years for it to come out. Okay, maybe next year, maybe 2 years. I don't know. Link Click took like forever to come out for the subsequent seasons. So I don't know. It's the same creator, so we'll see. Please, Billy and all the people doing that stuff, you know, please make it faster. But To Be Hero X was great. I loved it. Yeah. Fun starting the gray mods. I requested double shot samples from GMK to make absolutely sure that they would work. That's a good call. I think, yeah, with low contrast stuff, I think that's a great thing to do. Like getting samples if possible. Because yeah, it's kind of a big deal, you know. Like last thing you want is to get a set that doesn't match what you're envisioning, right? There's sets out there that have that, or maybe it is what they envisioned, but not what people envisioned when they saw renders and whatnot. Anyway, yeah, I'll catch up on an anime. I don't know what to watch next, to be honest. There's so many things. There's so many things. It's always hard to pick what I want to watch. All right. Shall we wrap things up here? Let's see. Okay, I think we will wrap things up here. I think I covered everything. I covered the bundle, the if base kit or the if module, the child kits, extra switches or different switches. We tried typing on both. We checked out the rest of the board. If you wanted to take a look at the board again, I can show it to you here. So here's the Hatsune Miku branding on the top left on the badge. Sort of real force styled case, right? Because that's what the NK Classic is sort of drawing inspiration from. We have our little LED. That's the side profile here, and we have the silhouette sort of again, and sort of like these little dust here, wave pattern sort of texture, silicone texture to the bottom. Classic-TKL NovelKeys. There's our USB port, and you know everything else is pretty standard. NK Classic TKL, but you have your gaskets here. We have the hot pink ones or the magenta ones, and then there's the the blue-green ones, which are by default set in the case, but I switched them out. So, but yeah, they're like kind of visible through the case, and so that's that. Okay, I can wrap it up. Is anybody streaming right now? I know, and once again, I want to thank the people who did come by through the raids by Alex and Tristan. Thank you. I don't think there's any keyboard folks today, right? It's like a Tuesday, so it's kind of rare. We can raid Frank? What do you mean raid Frank? Where's Frank? Huh? Frank? Do you stream? I didn't know. Do you? Maybe not. Okay, I'm just that Frank, this Frank, that Frank, which Frank? There's so many Franks in the community. Alright. De nada, Conin. No hay problema. Let's see. Mick, yeah, no worries. And Zerp, sorry for the delay, but here it is. You can always use the VOD. I'll be posting the VOD to YouTube, so I'll have the link for that tomorrow for you, and people can reference the Twitch VOD, of course. If I don't know which one's better these days, YouTube VOD, Twitch VOD. I think it's the same. You can fit ads either way. So whichever's convenient, you can link and do whatever you need to do to show people. But Topper did Hatsune Miku first. That's true, but I think this one's nicer. Alright. Let's just go rate the duckies as they are currently live, and we love them duckies. Okay. All right, friends. I will see you next time. Coming up, I have I thought I was going to have a board sooner, but I think I might have to move a few things around. I actually am not sure what I'm building next. So unfortunately I can't confirm, but there are many boards coming up. There is the ND104 from Chillkey, who is working with Uche Studio. There is the Cloud9 Round 2 from Machina that's coming later. There's the Nama from Uche Studio that's coming towards the end of the month. And then there is the Yan Studio Chi 65. I think Alex just recently featured that. I should be building that soon. And then there is the Neo 80 CU coming up as well in October. It's gonna be a very busy month in terms of keyboards, but so you'll be seeing me stream a good amount this coming month. So yeah, I mean, I'll see you guys. And then I think I do have a spider build as well coming up, the TKL. Okay. All right, folks. I'll see y'all later. Take care and have a good rest of your night or day. Bye. Peace. Oh, Mr. Petrov. Bye.